Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, in the losers round of 3 match, and of course the winner of this goes on to a qualifying match. Give it up over here in the top left-hand corner of the map, the red Terran player from Root Gaming, currently in Philadelphia, playing at another LAN event. It's Kelazhur. And his opponent spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, the blue Zerg player from Storm Gaming, currently playing from Korea, where it is currently 5:50 in the morning. It's NoRegreT. And how the hell did we make it onto Dasan Station? Well, NoRegreT is going to go for a pool first, and I don't blame him for it. And I wouldn't be surprised if Kelazhur does something like a 3-Rax Reaper opening. Not necessarily because Reapers are amazing on this map, but just because you can probably walk over to your opponent's side of the map with the Reapers and then just start building bunkers inside. That's gold. Like, I don't think Kelazhur can actually be stopped if he just tried to gun down that hatchery. I think if an SCV started building a bunker right here, NoRegreT probably wouldn't even notice, and he also would probably end up losing. I'm just saying, he's not doing it, but looks like Kelazhur is scouting around the natural first. He is going to go for the Reaper opening. He is going to go for a expansion behind it, though, as, oh my god, it's a SCV building with the cake in the hand. That's so adorable. He's got cake in one hand, a drill in the other. But okay, we got a couple of Zergans being made over here. NoRegreT has definitely played on Dasan Station. He is immediately knocking down those rocks. He knows that if your opponent gets behind this mineral line with, for the gold expansion without those rocks knocked down, you just suddenly can't deal with the Reaper. You don't have anything. You can maybe get your queen positioned inside the mineral line to push it back eventually, but it'll just regenerate the health and come back in, kill a drone or two, leave, come back in, and it'll just keep repeating like that. So far it is almost more like a macro game, although we do have a lot more Zergans coming out now. And NoRegreT may be looking to go for the big Link Blood and try and end this. One kind of cool thing is if you knock down these rocks, you also have an open pathway into your opponent's natural expansion. Kelazhur is going to be moving around on this side of the map, though, and it seems like he wants to go to the gold. But if he just wanted to go to the gold, I think that he may have been able to hop down over here. I'm not sure if these little pipes cause problems for the Reaper jumping down. I haven't really seen any Reapers try and jump down this map, just because I don't see this map very often. The rocks are not quite knocked down just yet, so the queen is going to have to do its best to try and push that Reaper back. Well, 2 queens are definitely going to be able to cut down on the time. Wait, can you knock workers over the minerals? Can he throw down grenades and knock a queen over? I don't think so. It doesn't look like it anyways. Well, regardless, the Zergans have finally cleaned all the rocks up and are able to take out those Reapers. But now we end up seeing a situation where Kelazhur is not walled in at all. Does Kelazhur just lose here to the giant Link Flood? I think this might be a quasi-anticlimactic ending. ZvT is going to be coming out, and the Wallen tries to start, but there are so many Zerglings. I think it's going to be a really difficult hold over here for Kelazhur. But he's going to try his best to make it work. Zergling's already getting a lot of workers killed so far. He's evening up that worker count. Is down to now 12 workers, 11 workers left over, and guess what? All the Marines are gone as well. So I think that, yeah, this is going to be it. NoRegreT takes out the rocks, and I guess maybe just takes out Kelazhur, who is not really anticipating the rocks being knocked down that quickly. 10 workers left over, and NoRegreT is just focus firing down workers, I think, over there. It doesn't quite get any more, but is there still a Zergling here? Where is the Zergling? I thought I heard a Zergling. Oh, the Zergling's up here. Zergling's knocking down the supply depot. And yeah, this is the problem. Is look, okay, cool. Kelazhur manages to hold, and now there are just more Zerglings over here. I like the cute little split up attempt over there from NoRegreT. Oh god, the ZvT may even end up falling. Medevac doesn't know where to go. He's trying to pick up multiple things. He tries to heal the SCVs, but it ends up falling. That was the last remaining hope. That was the last hope that Kelazhur really had, as more Zerglings stream on in. These Marines are over here. It's down to 8 workers. Yeah, I agree. He has natural expansion, but NoRegreT has a gold. NoRegreT is oversaturated on this gold. He's in the best spot possible. 30 workers, going up to 33. He's gonna lose it, Overlord. That's kind of annoying, but he has Zerglings out that could deal with any sort of immediate push out. or another medevac drop that could potentially happen with the siege tank. The gold expansion may be a bit vulnerable, maybe to a siege tank drop. Maybe you just drop a siege tank back here and you just keep moving back and forth and back and forth. NoRegreT may want to start working on these rocks, and yeah, you can tell that NoRegreT has been playing on Dasan Station. He is one of the players that hasn't been striking it. And this is exactly what Kelazhur's thinking about doing, but I feel like this is one of the maps that Kelazhur has struck on the ladder and doesn't play. And he's sort of in just that, are you serious? Like, I forgot to veto Dasan Station, so you're going to immediately pick it for game number 1? Well, okay then, I guess this is happening. Really nice position over here on this siege tank. Now, it's going to have to pick up as the Zerglings make their way across. And the siege tank should be able to get a little bit more damage done just because NoRegreT didn't leave any Zerglings here. You know, Kelazhur's not doing too bad of a job of catching back up. Spire's coming out, and that is sort of a concern, I think, for Kelazhur. But he's doing a much better job than I thought he would. I really did think that this was just going to be absolutely shut down by a handful of Zerglings just sticking around at the, behind the mineral line and a handful of Zerglings sticking around at the natural. But NoRegreT doesn't seem to have that many Zerglings out. Well, behind this, we have an idle tech lab. Not getting stim. I think that would probably be good to get, but I guess he wants to get up as many Marines as possible before he worries about getting stim up. That is going to be a huge problem. The fact that Mutals are popping out before stim is even started, before there's even a tech lab on the barracks, finally gets the tech lab on the barracks, but no missile turrets, no engineering bay done, I don't think. No, he doesn't even have an engineering bay. He is relying on unstimmed, uncombat shield Marines. And no missile turrets to deal with the defense here. And I think the scarier part is that he's not even just gunning it straight in. He's waiting around until he has a massive number of Mutalisks. Double engineers are going to come down, but they are coming down at a... Oh, okay, yeah, there's the GG. Kelazhur is just like, oh, no, you have Mutalisks. It's over. NoRegreT takes game number 1 in this best of 5. Well done by NoRegreT, taking game number 1, and is going to be putting himself in a nice little lead. Now granted, Dasan Station is a map that does not play out like any other map. And he pretty much won because he took advantage of Kelazhur not really playing that map very often. This is why I tell players, on your ladder games, never strike more than one map. Just don't strike more than one map ever. Because you're gonna have to, you're gonna play best of 5s very often these days. And you don't want to be in that situation. Alright, well, game number 2 is going to be on Apotheosis. I've been told that that's not the correct way to pronounce it, but I forget the correct way, so I'm going to go with it. Oh boy. I really am curious, though, how many times have these two players played against each other in terms of match history and everything? Looks like they really haven't played very often. Back in 2015, almost like a year ago, so not a lot of information we can glean from that. Kelazhur has won all the times that they faced against each other. Although it's not completely undefeated. It's not like this is the first game that that NoRegreT has ever taken off of Kelazhur. So it's nothing substantial like that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We're hopping into it. Game number 2. We'll see you guys right now. No map intros. Spawning down here in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, we have the red Terran player from Root Gaming, sitting down 0-1. Give it up for Kelazhur. And his opponent spawning up here in the top left-hand corner of the map, the blue Zerg player from Psystorm Gaming. Give it up for NoRegreT. I think both of these players are playing out of their comfort zone right now. NoRegreT is up at like 6 in the morning, playing in Korea on latency and all kinds of other stresses and everything. And Kelazhur is playing at a live event where he also knows as soon as he finishes this up, even if he loses, he has to play another best of 3 or whatever versus some other person. If he wins this, that's even more stressful because then he has to figure he's still holding up the entire Cheesadelphia offline LAN event. And he has to try and play out his match there at some point, but he also needs to play out WCS. So both these players playing in those kind of weird engagements. NoRegreT is going to be going for that gold expansion, though. I mean, no surprises here. So many Zerg players just opt to do this. Haven't seen as many TVZs on this map just yet, but Zerg players do like to go for the third expansions at a relatively early time. Dawson Station, obviously not a good example of this. But SCV is going to come in over here for Kelazhur, scout out, okay, you're not just going to speedling all in me. I don't have to worry about getting a full wall in immediately, or pumping out Reapers and making sure I keep them on my side of the map. Command Center is going to go down, and it's going to be at the natural rather than that gold expansion. I feel like it's worth noting just because I've seen a big mix-up of players who feel like they can go for the gold and players who feel like they cannot, and they go for the natural. Reaper might be able to get some nice damage done, though, because that is one of the nice advantages of when you're up against an opponent that's gone for the gold. Your Reaper can hop up and down this cliff right here, and your queens are going to have a hard time moving back and forth between the main base and this gold expansion just because they're so far away. So the Reaper has a lot of opportunities to get some damage done. Now, there's some really nice damage happening over there. Already killing off one of the workers. Kelazhur is known for having really, really good Reaper control. And does manage to keep that Reaper alive right before the queen pops out. But a lot of speedlings being made right now, or a lot of slow Zerglings. Sitting on only 19 workers, this could very well be a giant all-in off of the gold expansion. NoRegreT, I mean, it might even be factoring in. NoRegreT knows that he has to play, even if he wins this, he has to play versus another opponent in a qualifying match. And he's already sitting up at 6 in the morning. By the time he gets to the qualifying match, if we try to play on macro games, it could very well be 7:30 in the morning. That's a terrible spot to be in. So I can understand maybe just wanting to cheese because he says, I want to end this series as soon as possible because I want to make sure I'm still cognitive or I'm still awake in the next series. Well, here we go. Zergling's going to be getting ready to move in, and Kelazhur should have seen at least some of the Zerglings. He's making Hellions, and the Hellions are going to do fairly well versus pure Speedlings, but they need room to micro, and they might get surrounded over here. One of them gets surrounded. The bunker is also going to go down very, very quickly. Only got one Marine in there. But the wall-in is good. He doesn't lift up the depots, though. He had the Hellions on the supply depots for too long. And now the Zerglings are inside the main base. The Banelings are going to be made as well. And if those Banelings get on top of those SCVs, that could be devastating. One of the Banelings does get canceled, though. At the best, he can soften up the SCVs. He cannot kill them all. But softening them up for these Zerglings is also going to be a pretty big win. Well, most of the Zerglings, or all the Zerglings, get cleaned up over there. And at the end of the day, 9 workers killed. Is that actually enough? I don't know if that's enough. NoRegreT is almost at an even worker count, and he's got a gold expansion. But Kelazhur has a normal expansion himself, and he's got mules, and he's got tech like a Banshee coming out. Zergling's pulling up over here, but there's no Overlord. There's no Overlord nearby. There's no Overlord drops coming out anytime soon. Lair Tech is coming up. He's building a Spore Crawler, as I guess he, of course, having those Zerglings all inside the main base of Kelazhur, saw the tech lab on the starport, so he knows that there's going to be a Banshee coming. Man, if that other Baneling had finished up, I think this would have been a very different game. I think all of these red Zerglings and orange and yellow Zerglings, they would have died. It would have been an extra 8-9 workers maybe killed at its best. Banshee coming in, able to get 2 workers killed so far, and this is also a really nice angle you can come in at, just because you can abuse this cliff where the queens are going to have a hard time chasing him too far out. Additional range on the queens does make it substantially easier to deal with that Banshee harassment, but still can be annoying and still can be difficult. The Banshees definitely aren't units that won't get any damage done if they're well microed. Already killing off 1 or 2 more workers, almost gets the second worker. Well, actually no, he did get the second worker. Very interesting. But the Banshee does go down. I don't know if that trade was worth it. I mean, killing off 3-4 workers. Or the Zergling's also trying to get some damage done at the same time. Oh, Zergling's in the main base, going up to 17 workers killed. Another Banshee does get picked off. Oh my god, that's a pretty big deal. Losing that second Banshee without really getting a whole lot of damage done really, really does sting. And I don't know, they're both sitting on 28 workers. A lot of Hellions going to be coming in the mix, though. And does NoRegreT have any way to deal with the Hellions? That's the biggest problem, I think. The Banshees are nice. The Banshees can do some damage, but the Spore Crawlers will push them back. There are literally 0 Zerglings now. Both of the Zerglings, the 2 Zerglings that were there to defend, just got killed off. And NoRegreT is not going to be able to bust through this wall in because there's just repair going down. Even if he does bust in through the wall in, I think that there's going to be enough time for the Hellions to move back. He already kills off, what, another 8-10 workers, and then just retreats on home. SCVs are pulled, and sure, they're not mining, but I mean, better to have the SCVs than to have them die. Zerglings are probably going to retreat on out through the gold. No, not. They're just going to try and engage onto the Hellions. Well, they're all going to end up dying. Kelazhur is not bad at his micro, especially his Hellion micro. The Mutals are now out, and Stim is not quite finished up just yet. So maybe he can do something there. I don't know, losing even more of these Zerglings. This is looking really, really grim right now for Kelazhur, or for NoRegreT. He's going to be able to kill off and push back some of these Hellions, but he's still sitting on a 2-base economy, and one of those bases was the gold, which I normally would mine out faster, but the fact that he lost all of his drones so many times means that he's not going to mine out immediately. So, you know, look on the sunny side. Look on the bright side. A couple of these Mutals coming in, seeing that the Marines are already there, and Stim is just seconds away from finishing up, about 10 seconds away. And he's trying to take an engagement, realizing that Stim is not finished. But oh my god, if he takes an engagement right when Stim is also about to finish, these 3 Marines may even be able to pick off an additional Mutals or 2. Well, Liberator comes out, he should be able to finish those guys off. A second Liberator also coming in the mix. Amazingly enough, NoRegreT does more damage over there than I thought he would, and walks away with 4 or 5 Mutalists. He loses quite a few, but at least it kills off all of the Marines, I guess. Kills off a few of the workers. I don't even know. I don't think that that's enough. I feel like NoRegreT has to not just like kill off workers, he needs to get a big army win engagement. Big win on the army engagement. He needs to crush Kelazhur's army and shut down a 3rd or something along those lines. Something that would give him the potential to, say, do something like use the Mutalists for this map control. Use Zerglings for like big counterattacks and everything. But he can't do that as long as his army is continuing to build up for Kelazhur. Killing off the Marines was nice, but he traded for the Marines. He had lost a lot of his Mutalists in the process. He lost 5 of them. If he had killed off all those Marines and he still had 5 more Mutalists at the end of all of that, and I think 10 or 11 Mutalists, yeah, they could run around. They maybe could have sniped off combat shields or taken out a reactor, killed off some workers, bought a lot of time. But he didn't. And because of that, even like the Liberators will end up surviving. And the Liberators are going to continue to build up in number. And even though NoRegreT is making more of these Mutalists, those Liberators, once they get up to 4, it does become a very, very different game. Stim Marines trying to take on these Mutalists, and they are going to be able to joined in with the DPS of these Liberators that are doing some damage, although not actually getting any major kills. I think he may have killed 1. Yeah, it kills 1 Mutalist, and the Mutalists are going to be able to regenerate that health. Gold expansion is finally starting to get mined out, and he does have that new expansion, but he's still sitting on just 38 workers. 1-1 is also finished up right now for Kelazhur. This is watching Kelazhur slowly but surely secure his victory. He's just not taking chances, and I can't blame him for it. He doesn't want to just push out across the map and hope and pray that NoRegreT didn't just try and go for like a secondary all-in. He doesn't want to do anything like that, so he does wait a little bit, wait for his upgrades, wait for 1-1. He has Stim and combat shields. He's getting out his medevacs. Now is the time he can maybe make some big damage happen in a little bit safer of a way. And these Mutals are also going down to the Marines, because guess what? NoRegret's busy trying to micro on the other side, making those Banelings, trying to get into a good position. He needs the hits of his life on these Banelings, and I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get it, because Kelazhur is pre-splitting. Already losing a couple of these Banelings, having to cancel some of the other ones. Kelazhur is just not taking any chances, and this is the way he's got to play it. And I think the NoRegreT will be able to hold over here. I think he should be able to push this army back, but he does not take very good trades in the process. And he's going to have to fight, yeah, now with his Mutals versus Marines, and in fact, he doesn't get enough good hits of those Banelings. And he is forced back, and he does have 0 Banelings left over. So he has to spend some time remaking them. Looks like Kelazhur wants to retreat back since he doesn't have a lot of energy left over on those medevacs. He's going to wait, get to another medevac. maybe load up and go to the main base or something. But no, he's just going to retreat back home. This is where I start to think, like, okay, I understand the idea of forcing your opponent to make more units. Is it really the way that you want to take this? I mean, 2-2 upgrades are finishing up, so don't get me wrong. Kelazhur will be taking the engagements of his life versus 0-0 Lings and Mutalisk. But is this playing a little bit too passively? Is this playing a bit too cautiously? Oh man, the Medivacs that were loading up the Marines to go for the drop harassment, cutting off some of those organs. That's savage. Banelings being taken out at this stage, and looks like some more of these Banelings are trying to be made. Hey, this is a big choke point over here, but that does end up working against NoRegreT because Kelazhur stims on out of there. And NoRegret's off of creep. Even with centrifugal hooks finished up, he does not get very good Baneling hits. GG gets called. Kelazhur tying up the series 1-1. All right. So we have a series on our hands. It looks like every single series we go to will get tied up 1-1. Always and forever. But that does mean that NoRegreT is going to have to stay up a little bit longer as he plays a few more games. Let's see. Get an invite. Since it looks like Kelazhur's making games. For future games, can you make on WCS or and I can. Alright. Well, Galactic Process is going to be the next map. And just some other bracket updates. Yeah, it is confirmed. Pili versus Bales is the next match that's happening. 100% confirmed. It seems like Sham ended up beating Huck 3-1. So big congratulations to Cham. Huck goes down to the other qualifying match and they lose this bracket. The winner of Pili versus Bales will play in another Protoss versus Huck for that qualifying match. And the winner of NoRegreT versus Kelazhur will go on to face off versus Puck in the qualifying match. So ladies and gentlemen, we're hopping on to Galactic Process next. Very interested to see where this goes. Alright. I think we also had someone resub earlier. I think I missed it. Yeah, EPS Celox one resubscribing for 21 months in a row. Thank you so much, friend. It's great to have you as a part of the BaseTradeTV crew. Almost got to 2 years too. All right, well here we go. Spawning. Oh, let me get the overlay up. Spawning up here in the top right-hand corner of the map, we have the red Terran player from Root Gaming. Give it up for Kelazhur. And his opponent spawning down here in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, the blue Zerg player from Storm Gaming. It's NoRegreT. Okay, so we got a reactor coming out from, oh sorry, not, yeah, reactor coming out from, sorry, refinery, not, what am I talking about? Refinery. Already getting tired. It hasn't been a super long day. It's only been about 4.5 hours, but I think I'm just a little bit worn down from some of the previous days. Well, we should have a fairly interesting game coming out because we got a barracks coming down really, I guess, close to the ramp. This should get scouted out pretty quickly from NoRegreT, who's going to be sending that Overlord over to the natural expansion. And this is going to be a 3-Rax Reaper play. Now, the thing about the 3-Rax Reaper play is normally you don't know after seeing the first Reaper that it's a 3-Rax Reaper play. You know it after seeing the second and third Reaper coming in as early as they have. But in this situation, I think that before the second Reaper comes out, the Overlord is going to scout out both of these barracks, and NoRegret's going to have more time to react. Although I guess it is also cut down by the fact that these Reapers are going to be getting to the other side of the map much quicker. And it also cuts down the potential for a counterattack. Well, first Reaper makes its way out, and here we go. NoRegreT is about to scout out exactly what he's up against. There is the SCV. He sees the wall and he sees the additional barracks. He immediately knows, time to halt that drone production. It's time to go ham on Zerglings, Queens, and maybe even throw down a Spine Crawler. I wouldn't hate that. And yeah, there is a Spine Crawler going down the natural expansion. I always wonder, too, if it's better to go for the Spine Crawler in the natural or if it's better to go for it in the main base. But First Reaper is out and almost gets surrounded by the Zerglings. Gets very, very close to getting surrounded by the hatchery as well as the Zerglings. But second Reaper is going to pop its way in, and if there's something that Kelazhur is known for, it's definitely his Reaper control. It is super on point. It is always very, very solid. He trained in Brazil by playing on the North American server with 300 to 500 ping, and somehow managed to make his Reapers get damage done that time. And now that he's moved to America, obviously he moved to America a while ago, a few years ago, but he became so unbelievably good at it. If you can micro Reapers in 300 ping, you can micro Reapers in just 25 to 30 ping. And these Reapers are already doing a ton of damage, killing off more than enough Zerglings, but also, most importantly, Queen probably wants to focus fire down the, oh, well, no, GG. Kelazhur taking game number 3 in a very, very quick Reaper opening. Taking this, or moving up in the series 2-1. All right, we're going to hop to a short break, ladies and gentlemen, as we get ready to hop into game number 4. We'll see you guys in just a bit. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are in game number 4. King Sejong Station is going to be the map. And up here in the top left-hand corner of the map, the red Terran player representing Team Root Gaming, currently up 2-1. Give it up for Kelazhur. And his opponent spawning down here on the bottom right-hand corner of the map, we have the blue Zerg player from Storm Gaming. It's NoRegreT going for the early pool. And we are playing on the central server, which is a bit worse for ping for NoRegreT, but Kelazhur absolutely has the right to. I know that he also wants to try and finish up this series as fast as possible because he wanted to play in Cheesadelphia, and it's kind of a bit of a trade-off. You know, he has that extra pressure of having to play this other match, so he wants to finish up quickly. So, of course, he's going to try and take every advantage possible, and there's absolutely no shame in that. But NoRegreT is going to try and do his best to try and end this game early as well, because he wants to try and go to sleep soon. I'm sure he's exhausted right now. Goes for the gas pool, and Speedlings, I can get some damage done. Does he do this with a Baneling Nest? There is an SCV scout from Kelazhur, as he has been going for the SCV scouts in pretty much all of these games. It's NoRegreT after all. You'd be silly if you didn't go for some sort of early worker scout. But Kelazhur is just going to take an in-base natural expansion. I like that decision. Going to use the Reaper to try and pick off any of those early Zerglings making their way across the map. And I really don't see how NoRegreT is supposed to actually make this work, because he's going to end up losing so many of these Zerglings in the meanwhile that he's microing against that Reaper. And he's going to throw down the Baneling Nest, but getting up the Banelings is going to be difficult until Zergling speed finishes up. Zergling speed should be finishing up pretty soon. I thought maybe Kelazhur would continue to go after those Zerglings, kill off at least another like 1 or 2 more. And there'll only be like 3 Zerglings over there, as well as the reinforcements that are now coming in. But Kelazhur, he just needs to make sure that he gets a nice wall, and if that command center re-lands over here, that could be really, really helpful. If he re-lands that command center right by that barracks, he will be completing another set of wall-in. He can re-land the factory right over here, plop down 1 more supply depot, and he'll have a secondary wall-in. Suddenly those Banelings that are going to be made pretty soon are not going to matter. But I do think that NoRegreT still has an opportunity to make this work. It's going to be difficult, though. Factory is now finished up, so Hellions can possibly be made. Oh, wow, he's going straight into the reactor. So he's feeling ultra confident about this, even after seeing the Banelings being made right now. Reaper is going to get picked off. That is unfortunate. Those Reaper grenades definitely help out quite a bit versus the Zerglings, although you have to be careful not to allow those Reaper grenades actually pump the Banelings or Zerglings over the wall in. But here we go. We have the secondary walling in coming in over here for Kelazhur. Reactor as well as the supply depot go down, but well, Engineering Bay is buying a lot of time, and I think that there's enough Marines that even if these Zerglings stream on through, GG command gets called, and NoRegreT taps out. He falls in the losers bracket, and Kelazhur advances on to play in the winner or in the qualifying match versus Puck from the losers bracket. Pretty quick game over there, as I don't again blame NoRegreT for just trying something like that. It is pretty late for him and everything. But yeah, we are going to be I guess, not hopping to a break. We just hopped to a break and played commercials and everything. We're going to try and find out what the next match is if Pili Pili versus Bales has already started. Let's see. I see that... Wait a second. I had the overlay right, correct? Yeah, okay. I see Kelazhur is in a lobby. So I assume that he was like trying to make another game, but I just realized he's playing in Philadelphia. Or trying to hop in the next game. Yeah, he immediately went into a custom game. No delay whatsoever. Pili Pili has been sitting in the menus for 21 minutes, so I think that he's ready to play. Is Bales ready to play? Is Bales out of game? Let's see. I don't think he... Okay, yeah, he's not ready. I think Kelazhur ran into his Philadelphia series. So you are the last series left, besides him versus Puck. So here's the situation. Kelazhur just ran into his, like, what I'm pretty sure is his Philadelphia series. But that means that Bales is also playing in Philadelphia. Bales is going to be holding up the bracket versus Pili Pili because he's still playing his match there. The situation over here is a little bit different because NoRegreT wanted to go to sleep. Pili Pili is just kind of chilling. Like he's okay with waiting for a bit, so he doesn't mind like just immediately like allowing Bales to play in Philadelphia. He's not just gonna immediately try and disqualify him because he doesn't have anywhere else to go. But NoRegreT did, so he kind of he was using that card on Kelazhur, which is absolutely within his right. But now Kelazhur is playing in Philadelphia, so Puck is waiting around for him. So now Puck is waiting for Kelazhur, Pili Pili is waiting for Bales, and those are the last two matches around. Puck versus Kelazhur is a qualifying match. Pili Pili versus Bales is a match before the qualifying match. So we might be here for a while. Oh boy. Oh, Bales is out of game. Bales out of game. So maybe we lucked out on the timing for this. Bales. Okay, yeah, they're doing vetoes, so cool. We're gonna be doing Pili Pili versus Bales. Man, this is gonna be a long day. Long broadcast. So while they do that, I'm going to really quickly pop this up, this match history screen, so you guys can take a look at it, absorb it, enjoy it. I'm gonna really quickly, just because I did not eat a heavy breakfast or anything, I'm gonna get some like bread or something. I do apologize for the lack of professionalism and eating on stream and everything, but I'm gonna start dying pretty soon, considering I'm probably gonna be here for another like 2-3 hours.